Welcome to Orion Talk Radio. My name is Derek Rose. You're listening to The Conscious Resistance. Today is Sunday, February 3rd, 2013. Today we have a great show lined up for you. I think this is a perfect example of what my show is about. I will be talking about the latest top stories going on in our country dealing with gun control, immigration control, the marching police state, all these things. We're also going to talk with Garrett Kirkland from Boston, who has been out there working with others to kick the TSA out of the rail lines out there. And then in the second part of the show, we're going to be talking with Michael Murphy, who is a producer of What in the World Are They Spraying and Why in the World Are They Spraying, dealing with the geoengineering, aka chemtrails, weather modification issue. And then sprinkled throughout there, you're going to hear bits of Buddhism and maybe some shamanic teachings and compassion and solutions, and agorism, and anarchy, and all these things. And the reason why I say this is a perfect example of what I'm about and what is necessary is because I often get messages from people who say that they enjoy that I talk about anarchy or libertarian ideas or anti-state principles and things of that nature. But I should really shy away from talking about things like chemtrails or aliens or whatever it is they think, and then they make some reference to Alex Jones and then just refuse to look into it. And then at the same time, I'll talk to someone who understands and looks into things such as geoengineering, chemtrails, or maybe they have their more wide than mine is, their mind more wide than mine is, and willing to look into things that I haven't even yet. But they don't understand the philosophical principles between using the government, what the government's proper role is, and an understanding of liberty. They understand the idea of being free and wanting to stop the government, the New World Order, but they may not have a philosophical understanding of how to obtain that. And I think it's important to have an understanding of both, that I think that you need to understand your own nature, and that doesn't necessarily mean you need to call yourself an anarchist, but it should mean that you have some understanding of what it means to truly be free, to say that you're a free person, and how we can move to create that. So to look into these ideas, look into the ideas of agorism or mutual aid or mutualism or just community building, if you don't prefer isms. And looking into these ideas, you may find yourself moving towards gardening, community gardens, community farming. And in the process of your community farming, you may feel yourself becoming more connected to the planet and to nature and so on. And I believe that leads you to a place, not necessarily to say that you're a Buddhist or that you have the same beliefs as I do, because you're an individual human being who is just as dynamic as I am. So our understanding will manifest in different ways. But I do believe that once you pursue knowledge in this world of global conspiracies, geopolitics, anarchy, liberty, self-rule, self-responsibility, and really try to apply them, which is agorism, apply them in a real-world manner through action, and start to create these things, you start to reconnect to the planet and to your own life and to your own self and to your community. And in my eyes, it's impossible to do these things and to undertake this experience without going deeper with it. So, what am I getting at here? I'm saying don't be afraid to look into information. Don't be afraid to go look at anarchy philosophy or libertarian philosophy or socialist philosophy or whatever it is that makes sense to you. Look into it. I think that eventually you will find that the ultimate principles that we can all be guided by are non-aggression principle, create a voluntary society, and that can lead you to a number of places. But when you pursue these things, you also have to recognize the necessity of allowing each other to explore ideas and to explore things. So I don't really think that you are helping me as a friend, a fan, or an ally by telling me that I should shy away from talking about certain subjects because you don't agree with them or because you have chose to not look into them. And in the same sense, it does me no good to tell you to stop looking into Christianity or to stop exploring your interest in Marxist philosophy or whatever it may be, because we are all on our own individual journeys. We're learning this together. I do believe that we are headed towards a similar place and that we are going to evolve past the need for the state. We're going to evolve to a point where we recognize what the state is doing. And then we are evolving towards creating alternatives and towards building new ideas, towards building systems of and methods of creation, of freeing the people that will move us to a place past the state. Just recognize that when we judge each other, and I've done videos about this in the past, how when we refuse to accept each other and we judge each other and we keep each other from feeling free to express ourselves in whatever manner we choose, we're actually serving the state. You serve the state by ignoring or making fun of your good friend who understands libertarian philosophy, but for some reason he's just into those conspiracy theories, and I just can't get over that. You serve the state by making fun of your friends, family, parents, or whoever, and calling them sheeple because they haven't heard the information you've been presenting to them. You serve the state by tearing down a person because they have a different philosophy. If we truly want to evolve and we truly want to move forward in a place where we can respect each other and advance the species, then we're going to have to learn to start doing that now. And this is what agorism is all about: anarchy, action, and agora. Anarchy being self-rule, self-responsibility, the agora being the marketplace, the community, the exchange, and action being you taking action in your own life to create these things. That's all it's going to take. So just remember that as you go through the rest of your week. We're starting off the week with me, and I very much appreciate that. Remember that your judgments towards other people, if they're not constructive, if they're not trying to advance our species, then I do believe you're failing the movement. And also remember this, that every human being is the author of his or her own health or disease. You create what you get. You get what you create. Remember that throughout this week. That's a quote from Buddha, by the way.
Rather a complete revolution of consciousness and awareness within the human mind. We are witnessing the fall of the republic as tyrants try to make us all the subjects. They buy up newspapers, TVs, and magazines as they try to implement a fascist regime. Corporations have been enthroned in the U.S., so all major media outlets are now useless. They steady discredit of reliable source as they recite a one-sided report. To keep you scared, they steadily remind you of terrorist attacks and a deadly swine.